The waiting room buzzed with the low murmur of anxious whispers. The air was thick with a mix of anticipation and unease, as patients shifted in their seats, glancing occasionally at the clock on the wall. The room was a microcosm of human emotion, each person lost in their own thoughts, hoping for relief and answers. Among them sat Mr. Jones, nervously tapping his foot. His eyes darted around the room, taking in the worried faces of others. He felt a kinship with them, united by the shared experience of waiting and the hope for a positive outcome. He clutched his stomach, a wave of nausea washing over him. The discomfort had been persistent, gnawing at him for weeks. He had tried to ignore it, hoping it would go away on its own, but it had only grown worse. Today he could no longer put it off. Today he was determined to get to the bottom of his discomfort. He had done his research, read countless articles online, and even tried a few home remedies, but nothing had worked. He needed professional help, and he was ready to face whatever it took to find relief. Finally, the door opened, and a friendly face greeted him. Dr. Smith, with her warm smile and reassuring presence, was a sight for sore eyes. She had a reputation for being thorough and compassionate, and Mr. Jones felt a glimmer of hope.
Mr. Jones, Dr. Smith is ready to see you now. The nurse's voice was calm and professional, a stark contrast to the chaos of the waiting room. Mr. Jones took a deep breath and stood up, feeling a mix of anxiety and relief.
Dr. Smith, a beacon of warmth and knowledge, motioned Mr. Jones to a seat. Her office was a sanctuary of calm, filled with soft lighting and soothing colors. It was a stark contrast to the sterile, impersonal waiting room.
Tell me, what brings you in today? Dr. Smith's voice was gentle, yet authoritative. She had a way of making patients feel heard and understood, a skill honed over years of practice.
Her demeanor instantly put Mr. Jones at ease. He felt the tension in his shoulders begin to melt away, replaced by a cautious optimism. He was in good hands.
Well, doctor, I haven't been feeling quite myself lately. Mr. Jones' voice wavered slightly, but he pressed on, determined to convey the full extent of his symptoms. I've been experiencing some digestive issues, and it's quite concerning. He went on to describe the pain, the nausea, and the impact it had on his daily life. Dr. Smith listened intently, nodding occasionally, her expression one of focused concern. Dr. Smith took notes, her mind already formulating a plan of action. She asked a few more questions, probing gently but thoroughly, ensuring she had all the information she needed. After a few moments, she looked up and met Mr. Jones's eyes. "I think we have a good starting point," she said, her voice filled with confidence. "Let's run some tests and see what we're dealing with." Mr. Jones felt a wave of relief. For the first time in weeks, he felt like he was on the path to finding answers. He smiled at Dr. Smith, grateful for her expertise and compassion. As he left the office, he felt a renewed sense of hope. The journey to recovery had begun, and he was not alone. With Dr. Smith by his side, he knew he could face whatever challenges lay ahead.